Hello everyone, welcome to another educational video about board aspirants. I'm Dr. Swati Gupta, I'm periodontist, researcher and I teach for National Dental Boards at Board Aspirants. This video is a continuation of my previous discussion on statement of purpose. This time I will be discussing on writing tips. So let's begin. Now the most important question that everyone struggles with is where and how to begin. Well, I would advise you to just take it easy, have a cup of coffee, nice notebook and a pen with you and start writing. And once you are settled in, I'm going to give you tips for writing a simple yet effective personal statement, or if you want to write a statement of purpose. Tip number 1 is don't procrastinate. Okay, don't get stuck on information, too much information, I would say, grammar and topics like what is a great writing, I'm not good at writing, or I'm a good writer. First and the foremost, what is really important when you're writing a statement of purpose or personal statement is to make a list. Keep your CV with you. Now remember that your CV is, or your SOP is not your replica of the CV, okay? But the CV is going to guide you. It's going to guide you regarding the information that you would want the school or the program to know about you. For example, your work experience that you might forget, but since it's mentioned in the CV, you would remember certain experiences associated with your work that you might want the school to know. Any peculiar or special qualification that you have, any circumstances or award that you got and that would highlight any good point about yourself. Research that aligns with the school or the department, and any personal experience that you've had and that had an impact on you, motivating you to pursue dentistry. So the point of the list is that you have everything by your side. Now it's up to you what you want to be included in your statement of purpose and how you would modify them into a story, right? Tip number 2, know your goals and find a theme. Now when I say find a theme, you should know how a statement of purpose is usually formatted. A statement of purpose is 500 to 1000 well-selected words, usually 1 to 2 single-space pages with a 12-point font. And usually we would say it should be a 1 page. And is organized as an opening statement, a middle statement, and a concluding statement. An opening statement is usually a kind of a question, a hook, and I'm going to explain that in the next slide, or an introduction, and is 1 paragraph. A middle statement, which is 1 to 2 paragraphs, is about your experiences, which describe or justify your motivation, your reasons of applying, why you are a good candidate, and why not. And why not you're not going to put, but obviously why you are. And concluding statement is about when you restate your focus. You kind of restate your opening statement and now you're going to align it with your future plans, and this is also usually only 1 paragraph. Okay. Tip number 3, the chronological order of writing. Now if you have read your friend's personal statement or statement of purpose, or if you've read online, usually there are different orders in how people write. How should you even start, or and what should be your opening statement? Okay, remember that your first paragraph is the best paragraph to show yourself. So it's up to you. It's totally your decision. For example, now I would give you example like how can you write and what will actually give you an idea of where to start from. Either it can be present to past, like what you're doing right now, and then you would continue with your past story, or you can start with your past and then coming to present and then telling about what's your future goals and what you want to do. Now usually if you are a specialist or you've done you have very good personal professional achievements and you want that to come in your first paragraph, you can always start with your past and then you keep talking about it and kind of format it in a story, and that's how you continue. Alright, so it would be an example of from your past to your present, and you're linking your past experiences as to your present and your future, and explaining the school or the department why you want to study more. Another way is to begin by telling something very interesting or introducing yourself at present and then telling them why you want to study in the country, right? So it could be present to past or past to present. Neither is wrong. It's totally up to you. What do you want the school to know and how you want to impress them with your introduction. Coming to the tip number 4. Look for a hook, what I described before, an opening statement which is there in your first paragraph. Now, if you look in this slide which talks about a good hook, what's a good hook? It's in the form of a question. It makes a reader wants to keep reading, makes a connection with the reader, puts questions in the reader's head, and something like Short Grabbers opens with a question or with a quotation, with a riddle or a personal experience, or with a close-up of a character. Now, what do you mean by this, right? What do you understand by a Short Grabber? So you usually begin with something by telling something about yourself. Let's see some examples. I got this on Google and I like this. It's a pretty good example to just tell you. When I was in 7th grade, I saw a girl wearing a sweater with the word Berkeley on it. I thought the word was interesting. I looked it up and I found out it's a great college. I decided that is where I wanted to go to college. This is the real story about Mr. Gonzalez, how got into UC Berkeley. Now, this is not very great opening statement, but it does give you an idea and does give the school an idea why the person was so interested in Berkeley. Like, what did he, and when he said that he found out it's a great college, that means now he's applying to the school and he's already Googled it and he's researched the school, so he knows what he's getting into, and that's what the schools would appreciate and would want to know. How much do you even know about the school, right? Coming to another example, a student Ali applying to enter a master's program in library science. Now, this is the first paragraph. When I was 11, my great aunt passed away and left me something that changed my life, a library of about 5,000 books. Some of my best days were spent arranging and reading her books. Since then, I wanted to be a librarian. Now, it kind of gives me an impression that, the person knows what he wants to really do. And since he said he's already been reading a lot of books, I'm kind of interested to know what he's read, what probably he knows. And now he's interested in a master's program in library science. So what is his motivation to study more and how can he actually be contributing to the program? So this is a hook. He's hooked the reader and the reader would now want to know about his motivation, right? So he opens up with a statement that makes a connection with the reader, something that you see here, appeals to the senses, and he puts the questions in the reader's head. This is exactly what we talk about when we say a hook. A nice story, it can be a professional story, it could be a personal experience, and it's going to hook the reader to know more about you. Okay, coming up with your tip number 5. This would be probably your 4th or 3rd paragraph. It is why you are a good fit. Now, if I have to look at the previous example of librarian, which I told you that the person says he or she likes to read a lot and they've read a lot, right? So now when I'm reading, I really want to know why they want to come to the school. Now, this particular opening statement will be followed by why the person would want to come to the school and why he is a good fit. And here is where you would talk about 2 main key points. What do you want to learn more? That is where you would talk about what are your common interests with the school. And another one would be what would be your contributions that you're going to make to the school or the department. And where do you get this information? You get this information by researching the program or the school and any peculiar feature of that school that is unique and that is aligning with your interest is what goes in your 3rd or the 4th paragraph. Usually students struggle with finding this common link with the school. And in my next video, I will tell you what and how to select your school and how to know if you are a good fit for the school. Okay, that would be my next video coming up next week. Let's come to your tip number 6, that is about do's and don'ts. Now, this tip is really very important because the do's should always be there in your statement of purpose and the don'ts obviously should not. Show your qualities or skills as anecdotes or narratives. Now what do I mean by show your qualities is just don't use the words I'm motivated, I'm a team leader, I'm great. No, everyone can write that. This is not what the school wants you to write, or this is not how you show that you are good. You have to demonstrate, right? You have to say that, you have to give them a narrative. You have to tell them a story which shows that you are a motivated person. You have to tell them an instance when you actually showed your team leadership qualities, and that's how the school would know. Just don't write the words like I'm motivated, I'm hardworking, I'm a team leader, I'm great, and I have learned a lot, and I'm highly intelligent. No, you have to show that. You have to put that in words in form of one simple sentence or a simple line, a simple story that can demonstrate your qualities. Single but strong statements. So single but strong statements, they don't have to be very long statements. You don't have to write like I told you, should be a one page. That means you have to concise everything in single but good and brief matter. Use a story that is memorable and specific. So that should be, everyone has a unique story. You must be having a story that is unique, that is your story, and it should be a memorable story. It is a hook, the one that goes in your first paragraph. Make sure of the language and the words used. Keep checking your grammar, keep checking the words that you use. Make sure that you're not just using fancy and complicated words and you don't even know their meaning. Proofread multiple times and try to write yourself. This is really very important, which students forget, that you should always try to write yourself and proofread it. There are very good chances that school will understand if the letter is written by you or not. Now don'ts. Don't use very long repetitive sentences. Like I said, use single, small and strong statements. Don't deflect from the theme. Once you've decided on your story, once you know where is the hook, don't deflect. Don't be too emotional. Don't use vague, empty words, and avoid using too much I. Don't use lots of statements, I am motivated, I am strong, I am intelligent, I am hardworking. No. Try to make good statements, try to make concise statements, try to make statements which do not use a lot of I's in that. Don't use cliches or quotations, and please don't make grammatical mistakes. This is the biggest mistake that is usually seen in statement of purposes. Don't make grammatical mistakes. Proofread as much as you can. And in my previous video, as I mentioned, show it to your friends. Be a good critic and accept criticism. So this is an example of my own statement of purpose, where I'm going to tell you how from each statement how there was a story that was made. So if you look at the first paragraph, the opening statement was, my goal was to be involved in teaching and creating awareness. I started working as a periodontal consultant. So you do understand that me as a candidate was always involved in teaching and I was doing something. Now the question comes is, why am I interested in more? So this is my hook, where I'm saying that I'm doing something and I've done something, but why more? Now that is explained by my third and the second paragraph, which says, during my time as a consultant, I understood with a lot of my work that there were some loopholes or something which I needed to more, and my goals evolved over the years and I wish to expand my knowledge now. So now they're getting to the point where, okay, fine, this person has done so much and they want to do more because their goal was to always serve the community. So there is a story, there's a pattern happening there. And then the last paragraph is about why my research background is going to align. There is more to it, but this is just a beginning where you write about why my research background is aligning with yours and how is it aligning, how I'm a good fit, and how I'm going to make contributions. So I hope this video gives you a good idea on the content and on what you should be writing in your personal statement. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can also comment if you have any questions, and I would be very, very happy to help you. You can follow us on Facebook, on this group on the Board Aspirants, and I'll be putting up next video on how to choose a school and what to look for in a school in my next video. Okay, till then, good luck.